YouTube, I was debating if I should do the video now or I'm definitely doing a grocery shopping video. Come grocery shop with me, and I'm gonna take out 15 items. I need something to hold me till my next paycheck, because for the first time in my life, like, I've always budgeted, but this is like the tightest budget I've had, because I had a rent increase and the money is not enough. So like, I have to pay my rent every 2 weeks instead of just at the same time. And then for groceries, I'm definitely more careful when I go grocery shopping, because what I notice is I buy a bunch of stuff that's like cookies and ice cream and stuff like that. They add up, and people don't realize that it adds up. So I'm not doing any big shopping today. I'm just gonna get meat and juice, literally, like meat and juice. As far as breakfast goes, maybe I'll get a package of bagels, but I'm like, I think I'm gonna just stick to eating breakfast at work with the free, like that will save. And then I have like coffees I haven't drinking yet. And then I have like a Starbucks card, and I have a Dunkin' Donuts card. So your girl, is trying to preserve, you know what I mean? Because like, it's just crazy. But what I wanted to talk about today, before I got outside, before I forgot, was not that I thought I would forget, because it's like one of those topics that it's just like, it just needs to be talked about. But I wanted to talk about instincts and dating. And I was going to repeat a story. I was like, I heard the story. It makes no sense. But I wanted you, my 721 subscribers, thank you all. What do y'all think about this? What is y'all opinion of this? So there was a girl that went on a date. I don't know how she met the guy. I think she met him on the internet. Everybody's doing the online dating thing. For me, it didn't work out. I think I told y'all I met a guy on Facebook, and he just was wow. Like, he had his stuff together, but he went to jail for child porn. So epic fail. I actually had a Tinder account. Yeah, so where was I? So I had a Tinder account, right? And the guys on Tinder were so rude to me that I never met anybody in person. Like, they didn't even pass the phone conversation. It was just, and I can't stress that enough. Like, you have to talk to people, even when you meet them in person. It's good to have a couple of conversations first before the first date, because men tell on themselves. They really will. And you could find out everything you need to know just through conversation. So I remember one particular guy, he was Israeli, and he called me on Thanksgiving, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you call somebody on Thanksgiving? That's just rude. You're supposed to text them and say happy Thanksgiving. But to call me and expect a whole monologue or conversation, and I'm with family. I think I had went to my friend's house that year or something, and he got an attitude. Mind you, I didn't even meet this dude. He got an attitude with me because I didn't pick up my phone. I'm like, first of all, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, right? And I said, what makes you think that I was in a situation to talk? Like, it's Thanksgiving. Don't you think that I'm like with family or friends? Or I just didn't understand where he was coming from. And I said that, well, I know you're from Israel and you may not celebrate, but this is America. And people go to family and friend functions on that day. Even if I was by myself, like, what makes you think I would want to talk on Thanksgiving? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, what makes you think I didn't understand where he was coming from. So then I asked him a direct question after that. Like, what are you looking for? Like, are you actually looking for a relationship, or you just want to have a good time? And there's nothing wrong with having a good time, but I just need a heads up. Like, what are you looking for? So he took offense again and was like, oh, well, what are you looking for? Da 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 da. And he was just so rude to me, and I deleted him and whatever. Then the second guy on Tinder, again, I never met these people. He was from Howard University alumni and he wanted to come over. And I'm like, I don't know you. How do you even, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I had a picture with sunglasses on with a wig on. So just the picture alone, I was like, how you know I'm not a man? Like, like I know I'm a woman, but I was just curious, like, how do you see somebody on the internet, you think they're pretty, and so you want to go to their house? I said, what if I was to get you robbed? Like, you don't believe in stranger danger? So then again, he got offended and was like, oh, you're mad, I just want to hit it, da 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 da. I'm like, no, I'm actually not mad, because you're not. So why would I be? And then I don't even know you. And I said, for you to be educated and Howard University alum, you have a real stink attitude, and I'm not even interested. Like, you just blew it. Like, that's a turn off. I don't even know you, and you are trying to invite yourself to my crib. Like, first of all, my son is here, you know, and if I do invite somebody over, it's somebody that I know and I'm familiar with. Like, I would never have a random guy come over. And if I do, it's somebody that I've known for a while. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't just let strays in my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're going to do to me. I don't know if you're going to put me in a position that, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. So he got mad and irate and deleted him. Then I made a profile for Black People Meet, and that was not free. Thank God I got my money back. What happened was I was still getting SSI for my son, because I had 2 debit cards. So one debit card is for my job, you know, I work. And then the other debit card was my son SSI, which I don't get anymore. Because he's, like, he doesn't have a speech impediment anymore. So anybody who has a child with disability, speech is one of them. So if your child has a speech delay, you could totally go to the Social Security office and get your money. Like, just want to FYI, don't let nobody shame you. Yes, you can work and get a check. And so what happened was, when he no longer needed the services, the check stopped. Whatever. But at this time, I was still getting the checks, and I noticed that my money was kind of low. What happened was, my son had went to, because even though the checks had stopped, I still had money left, you know. My son had went to the store, because this was money I was getting from my son. So oftentimes that money would be for him, because I don't get child support, right? So I let him go to the store, and he was like, Mom, there's no money on this. I said, what? You know. So then I call and I find out that Black People Meet was charging me. And I'm like, well, why would I put this on my son's debit card? Like, I guess I did it and wasn't thinking. But these motherfuckers took like $200 from me. I called, and thank God for technology, because I told the person over the phone, I said, if you look at my activity, I haven't been on the site in quite some time. So the person was like, yes, Miss Vowles, I see what you mean, da 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 da. So thank God I was able to get all my money back. I got my money back. So Black People Meet, I never met nobody off there. I used the site for like a day or two, and then I didn't know that they were still charging my card. So FYI to anybody who have blackpeoplemeet.com, just check up on your account, because they could be charging you and you not even realize. And a lot of these websites are not free. Like, I had a former friend, and that's all she did. Like, she either was messing with friends or she would meet somebody offline. And I guess it was like, for me personally, I'm not really into the online dating thing, not just because it didn't work out for me, but also guys try to get with me all the time. Not to brag, but you know, if I'm walking down the street, or you know, I meet people everywhere I go. So I feel like, for me personally, like, if I didn't get guys all the time, then maybe I would be more interested in the online thing. But it's like, I'm always meeting men wherever I go. I'm always meeting a man, whether it be I'm always meeting a man. Like, there's men everywhere. And in New York City, we live in a very crowded place. There's a lot of people to meet. So I never felt the need to, like, yes, I do want a man, but it's not like getting a man is like this for me. Like, it's not hard. I don't know anybody that's online dated and was successful. I just don't. Everybody met their husband and boyfriend the old-fashioned way, and there's nothing wrong. And I wanted to stress that too. Like, don't make society make you feel like you can't meet people the old-fashioned way. Don't feel like you have to go online, because please, whatever. How did our parents get together? It wasn't online. My parents met at church. Hello. So yeah, so what was I saying? So yeah, I said all that to say this. I wanted to talk about like online, whatever, because this story, the girl met her date online. So they go on the date, and this is the short version. So they get back to her crib, and he's like, oh, he lost his key, and his roommate wasn't answering the phone. He's not home, and he not answering the phone. So she was being nice and letting him come over. Now, that's not unheard of, because the stuff do happen like that. Sometimes you can lose your keys. And if you live with somebody, it's true. Like, sometimes they not home, whatever. So that scenario is like, okay, whatever. So she, in her gut instinct, that's like gut instinct, she went into her room and locked the door. Now, if you felt that way, why would you let him in your apartment in the first place? But I digress. So he, at 3 a.m, he knocks on the door, right? And he asks for a charger, right? Instead of her getting up and giving it to him, she tells him it's on the kitchen counter, right? So then he knocks on the door again, and he says that the charger doesn't work. So shortly after this, she calls the police because she's feeling uncomfortable and whatever. The cops come inside the apartment. That's the part of the story we don't know of, because it's like, how did the cops get in the apartment? Why would he answer the door if he know that she called the cops on him? The normal response would be like, yo, you called the cops on me, da-da-da. He didn't knock on the door again. He didn't break down the door. The cops, they knock on her bedroom door, like, oh, da-da-da-da. She hears commotion in the front of her apartment, and he puts plastic all over her apartment and power tools. Now, I think the story is fake, but what do y'all think? Like, this girl, and it's a channel called Messy Stories. I'm actually gonna start I'm gonna start watching it, because I'm like, the story just doesn't make sense. You had a gut feeling, but you still let him come over. That doesn't make sense, 1. 2, how did the cops come in the apartment without her opening the door? Because the person telling the story was like, oh, mind you, she never left the room. So how the fuck the cops get in the house? That means he opened it. Why would he open it? If somebody calls the cops on you, right, why would you open the door? That doesn't even make sense. The normal reaction would be, yo, you call the cops on me? He would have been banging on her door. Like, the story just don't make no sense. And I think people are starting to lie on these social medias for views. I think that's what it's come down to, because even Ariel, those of y'all who watch him, those are scripted. And like, first of all, how is it that every time you tell somebody to exchange phones, that the person they call always picks up? How is that? It's almost as if they knew that they was going to get a phone call. Second of all, the scenarios just don't even make sense. And it's like, nah, it's scripted. So that's what I wanted to say too. Like, a lot of this stuff on social media is fake, and don't feed into it. But comment, like, and subscribe. Just in case if that was a true scenario. If you have a gut-wrenching feeling, would you let somebody in your apartment? For me, no. If you come off on any type of weird, I'm not letting you come over. There's no way that I'ma lock the door in my own house because I'm afraid of the person that's in the living room. Like, what? Where they do that at? Like, you know. And then it's like, he could have kicked the door down easily if he really wanted to do something to her. Like, and then it's like, how did they get into the apartment? Which means he opened the door. Why would he open the door? If somebody calls the cops on you, you're not going to open the door. Like, and you know you did something. But that's the part that was weird to me. Like, they found her whole thing plastic with power tools. Like, what was he going to do to her? Like, power tools, plastic all over the apartment. Like, obviously he had a bag. So that's another question I have. When he was on a date with her, was he carrying a bag? Because for him to have power tools and a plastic bag, that means he was carrying around a bag. So she didn't think to herself, like, why is he carrying this bag on a date? It's just so many holes in the story. What do y'all think? Comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah.